What's up? Shout out to you guys. I'm starting early. Hope you're all doing well. Thesis himself wants us to start early. I got the padded room behind me here so that we could jump into the charts and not get wrecked. Let's shout out to the chat. Jonathan Schaefer says we need to get started. Well, maybe we do, maybe we don't, but we can start early for you guys anytime, anywhere, even in Australia. We're coming to you live. Shout out to chat here. Top 10, welcome. Jonathan Schaefer, Hannah King, Thesis himself, people in the chat. I'm so grateful for every single one of you. Nomad Dad, it's okay in Australia. We need to throw down some copyright-free music, supposedly. Mrs. Otter is out doing yoga. She is on the balcony, in the crane position, pointing north, so that our internet connection in Australia is much stronger, because they still haven't delivered our internet, and we've called them 3 times, and it's been 3 weeks. So she's out there, hopefully with the North Star within mind, and hopefully we are getting better internet connection. But let's get into the charts. Let's look at what's happened, because 25K does not like us, right? It has been rejected. We have some trend lines here that I've been watching, and we know that if we fail, like Bitcoin census says, is still below important resistance level of 25 2K range, and the next attempt to break fails, the correction could be large. Could be large, right? So, what are we doing with these charts? I've drawn this cool green trend line, and it seems to have been respected here. You know, trend lines are just kind of a guide to which way we're going here. So, you know, it kind of looks like a laser show right now on my chart. So I'm going to get rid of that because, you know, it's too early for I'm working on my English, as you can see, for lasers. So we can see that we have come up, we have rejected, but this weekly candle looks very bullish, right? Very bullish. Now, I was saying yesterday that if this weekly candle fails to stay above this previous wick over here on the left at 24,197, that we could be looking for more downside. We could be looking for more downside. So let's jump into the closer charts. We can turn on these trend lines because we can see that the green one here, all the way from back when, has come, and we've touched it multiple times, and we seem to be riding it up, but this 25-2 has held us down, right? Everybody is looking at this giant trend line here, coming from the top all the way down to the bottom, how we have curled over, maybe we have touched it and bounced up, but we'll keep an eye on those for you guys. But also, let's jump in to the market cipher. Let's get a better look at this, and let's Strega the guy's name, or the lady, or the man's name that I cannot pronounce on the chat with the dinosaur heads. Shout out to you. Shout out to Nomad Dad. Shout out to Hannah. Shout out to Top 10. Shout out to Jonathan. Shout out to Thesis. So glad you're here. So, guess what? I am out of both of my trades. I was in a schlong yesterday. I had taken profits 160% for my long, and I think it was 70% for my short, and we'll talk about those. But let's go through Market Cipher. Look what's happening on the daily. Money flow is still thick in the green, right? Still thick with the green. So we got to be patient here. We can see that it has bounced up and down, and it hasn't been able to get below the 0 line on Market Cipher. Now that's where my sentiment will change. My sentiment for Bitcoin right now, when we zoom out, we can see this clear uptrend that we have had, right? We've seen the clear uptrend. So my sentiment for the market right now changes when we put in a lower low right here around 21,200 area. If we can make a lower low here, then I will flip bearish because that will make a break of structure, right? If we come up and then we break here and then we come down, well, that would, to me, I'd be looking for a retest and a big swing long or short would be in the making. So that is my idea for where market structure breaks bullish, okay? For now, this right here is our target for when we break that bullish sentiment, right? Now you can see, even here, on the 14 hour, the 16, the 18, we are printing red dots. We are printing red dots, and you can see that we are exhausted up top here. We cannot get above this 25.2 area, right? We cannot get above. You can see we've had multiple touches, and what tends to happen is that eventually we get rejected, right? Eventually we get rejected. Now it is a long weekend. Now I posted something in the Discord for everyone to read. It talks about when there's only 4 days of trading, that volatility is much juicier, much more volatile, much more moving because there's only 4 days of trading. So everybody and their sisters out there trading. So be prepared for this 4-day week, right? Because it's a holiday tomorrow. And guess what? It's Monday in Australia because we're in the future. And I have a week off, so I'll be here with you guys every single day this week, nice and early for you guys so we can jump into the charts and get at it. Mr. Otter, don't read the charts. Bullish like a rocket. Bearish on Bitcoin. New lows incoming. It's going to be wild. Thesis says I'm juicier. Well, guess what, Thesis? I appreciate you. Man, you are a great guy. Go check out Thesis himself and his YouTube channel. Very awesome guy. Great beard. Beards adjoined. So let's jump through this and let's look at this exhaustion and what else we can pull from these charts. 1 minute paired div. Okay. So now looking at this, you guys crack me up every single day. I appreciate every single one of you. So we can see a double top has formed here. I had jumped in down here below it, and I actually caught the top of this quick move before I went to bed. But we have messages being retracted in the chat that I share with us in the Discord every single day, right? And what are these levels? These levels are zones and areas which price will go to, right? I share these before I go to bed. I go to bed and in the morning when I wake up, if there's any changes, right? So we do have a CME gap that we're looking to hit around 19.3, 19.5 area, right? And then obviously we have the range low over here to our left, and then we have this golden pocket here at 22.7. I believe that's the golden pocket with confluence with, yeah, there's the golden pocket, right? And there is the value, point of control. See how quickly I pulled that up? See how quickly? Golden pocket, point of control, right? Very key level of support with confluence, right? So we'd be looking at price to work. It's down to 22.7. That would be my major next stop if we are continuing this downward trend. Now, we haven't had the volume that we want to see, but I had given this 25,139, and guess what? I was off by what? $60, right? So the question is that will it come back to 19K? Will it come back? Because I know you guys all want to pick up more Bitcoin, right? You all want, you praiser. You guys kill me. I love it. Okay, so will it come back? What is in the short-term time frame here? What are we looking at? Now, for me, I was able to catch this top of this wick here last night. Me, Hannah, and Felix, I believe, were all scalping this. Hannah was looking for higher highs, which Hannah was correct. I scalped this down here. Why you not at work, mate? Felix in the chat. Well, bro, I got the week off because my mama's here. Mama Otter's here from Canada all the way in down under in Australia. So I have the week off, so I'm able to go live, enjoy my week. So I'm sorry to say these Spillix, but I'm off this week, man. So I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us on the live. But Mama Otter's here, right? So we got a week off, so we'll be coming at you. Sounds very squishy. So we came up yesterday, we pumped, we got exhausted at this 25K, which was given in the charts. We got exhausted, banged out, came back down, and now we're bouncing around down below. Now down below, we have a mini, if we go into like the 8 minute, which I like, we got a mini bullish divergence here, right? That could play out a little bit in our favor. But remember that right now, if we zoom out, we can see that we are in very low volume for the weekend, except for this crazy little push we had last night, right? So we're starting to cool off on the volume. You can see this is coming down, and we're probably going to range. Now, where's the range, right? You may ask, where's the range? So the range from, if we pull it, the volume profile from the left here, maybe about here, all the way here, all the way across, we can see that we're developing a range, and we're naturally going to work our way to this point of control, and we can look for a rejection at the bottom of this range here. Maybe we don't trade the top, but look for it to work its way back to the point of control and maybe trade within this range right now. That's what I will be looking at throughout the day to see that maybe we can come in between here. But another attempt at 25K would be ideal. And then we can get rejected. Maybe we're going down. Maybe we're going down. Maybe we're going up. We'll give what the market gives to us right now. But right now you can see that we have come down. We've been exhausted, and now we've pushed back up. We have failed to make higher highs. So maybe this can make higher lows. We can do something like this, and then we can crawl our way back up with low volume. I prefer higher time frames like the 10 minute and the 11 minute. I want to ask you something. I use the market cipher, but can you explain a little bit about the hump down, what these mean? So these are momentum waves. They're an oscillator. They're not a leading indicator. The only leading indicator on market cipher is this little white part. It tells you kind of where the price is going, but these are all momentum waves. Just like an RSI, it's an oscillator, but it gives you divergences. It gives you money flow. So money flow is a long-term indicator, meaning that it can show you what money is coming into the market. If it's been green for so long, which it has, this is only on the 1 hour, that money is coming into the market, which is typically bullish. You can see how all the humps are above, right? So these are all momentum waves. They can help you find divergences, help you find which way price is going, but they can also give you red dots, which can mean price has come up. Printed red dot, you can see it's come down, right? So they're momentum waves. I'm going to do a further in-depth analysis on market cipher next week on the 26th. Yep, I have it scheduled. So I'll be doing a couple market cipher videos in order to provide some clarity. But yeah, just look at them as an oscillator. Money flow and VWAP are a different thing. We can talk about those, but these are momentum waves, and they help me personally find divergences in the market as well. Let's get to the more important stuff like Engine and Gala. Any chance you could call the numbers on my phone? Can't really see it in the sun. So my range is now between 24,200 and 25,200. So you got $1,000 range. But right now it looks like volume is cooling down. How we find the entry? Well, let's zoom out. Let's pull a fib. Let's see where price can go on this total time frame here. So we'll pull one from swing high to swing low. And look at that. We've bounced off the 0.5 perfectly. So like we said, down below here, we do have a golden pocket. We have bounced before. So maybe we come off of this one here because that's where the run started. You can see that I like to pull my Fibonacci retracement when we come down and we put in that low. That second higher low is the start of a move up, right? So this low here is where I'll pull my fib rather than this one here, because this is the beginning of the up move, right? So in order to retrace from the up move, we're going to come back from that one and then continue upwards, right? So this can be a retracement level that is pulled with more accuracy than others if you pull from the one that started the move rather than the one that ended the down move. Make sense? You got to close your eyes and bam, entry. Market order, 100% of the account. What's crack-a-lackin'? Bit late. What's up, Darren Does Things? Shout out to you. Thank you so much for joining us. We're just going through Bitcoin right now and how we've been rejected, exhaustion in the charts, weekend volume with quite the nice spike to push us up and challenge this 25-2. But as we were talking about yesterday, that we need immense volume in order to get up into this giant range above us around 28 to 32K. And everybody's calling for this. So can we be just kidding ourselves, right? Are the lows in? I'm one personally who says the lows aren't in yet, but I'm sticking to my guns and it's getting harder and harder and harder. And people keep calling me perma-bear. But guess what? The markets don't look healthy, in my opinion. You deserve a lot of subs, I swear. Guys, like the video and make it spread to the internet. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for saying that. We're trying our best on this channel to get this out to as many people as possible. Absolutely, that is why it is the Fibonacci retracement levels. Ace in the chat, thank you so much for joining us. I caught 2 snipe longs earlier before the drop-off near and dot. I caught a beautiful trade on what's it called? A Link yesterday. I shorted Link from up here. That was great. A nice 30%er with some leverage. But we'll jump into some alts as well. Coins like Shiba exist. Bottom is not in. Thesis is spitting the truth, spitting chiclets. Who knows? But we got to be patient here and see that, you know, it's still saying on the smart money concepts that this is a weak high and we could come up higher, right? So we got to be patient. Patience is the name of the game in trading this range right now. So let's be patient. Let's look for some nice setups. So we'll come back to Bitcoin. I've seen some people. What were you saying to look at? Gala? You were saying to look at Gala. We can look at Gala. Oof. Let's look at Gala. Bro, maybe in September the bottom will be. Now we'll have a new low. I agree, but it's a false bottom. What do you think? I think just with the macro environment right now, I don't think that the bottom is in. And we can get into something more detailed, but look at Gala. Gala is a pump show with a giant God candle. Look at this giant God candle on Gala. Got to go at work. Felix, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you, man. Shout out to you. Always active in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, the link's down below. So make sure to join us there so that we can all chill. I gave all the trade setups I took yesterday in the Discord yesterday, and they were all profitable, all good trades. So if you're not in the Discord, I'm not saying you're missing out, but you're probably missing out, right? So make sure to join us in the Discord. Subscribe if you haven't already and like the video. I appreciate every single one of you. Going to look at Gala. Gala is clearly in this range from before. We had the giant God candle that brought us up. Value area high. It is trading in the middle of the range, which means I don't touch it typically in the middle of the range, but we got to be careful. Of course, Thesis caught this giant God candle all the way up, but we can pull this all the way back here, and we got more confluence here that these are key levels here that have held us tight, right? held us tight. So we can see, even if I delete all these previous levels that I had from before, that we can see that our range is somewhere around here, right? I would say the range is there. So that would be my range with Gala. I'd be looking, because we're at the bottom of this range, this volume spike right here, I'd be looking for a long setup in Gala, if anything. So where would I be looking? I'd go down into like the 30. I'd find a nice Fibonacci retracement here, now that I got a range. So we're saying we're at the bottom there. So if I pull a fib from here to here, right, we can maybe see a fake out to the bottom here, but we are bouncing off the 0.5. Patience with the Gala is what I suggest. Right now, I would not be trading Gala because Gala has cooled off. Thank God Gala's cooled off, because that was a wild pump from way back when. It feels long ago, but Gala just was showing off with Dwayne Johnson eyebrows, right? Dwayne Johnson eyebrows, just like, look at me, I got this guy. You smell what the Gala's cooking kind of deal, and it pumped like crazy. You know, you slap Dwayne Johnson's face on any project, and it's gonna give you the big papa pump, big God candles, right? So we got to be careful with Gala here, and look for it to continue to range sideways here. I think it's had its run, but holy mother of gap. Yeah, I'm sure if I turn on the smart money concepts and we go to like the 8, we can see that there is a giant gap in between here. So let's be very, very careful with Gala. Anything else? Engine number 1. Bybit does not support engine. Oh, there we go. Sorry. I need to learn how to type these in. Can you believe Thesis is going to be upset with me? I have never looked at engine to trade engine. But I can give you... See, this is a good thing, though, because I can give you a non-biased, perfect technical analysis because I have not traded this and I have not been wrecked by it. You know those coins that you just don't like trading? Does anybody... Shout out in the chat. Does anybody have those coins that they just don't trade because they wrecked them, or because they're just not having good luck with them? I mean, for me, I don't hate trading it, but I don't like trading ApeCoin, and I really don't like trading OP. So I have a couple of those coins. That's okay, brother. Engine is the future of Otter Love. I don't trade Engine. I just buy it. Aptos is my wrecked coin. And Jasmine is another one. See? Aptos was just cruel to people. Cruel to people. I'll be waiting the videos about Market Cipher, bro. Top 10 in the Discord. I believe there is a little cheat sheet I put up in the resources part, and it's a layout of how the momentum waves and everything works. But I will definitely be doing some Market Cipher videos next week and the week after, talking about Market Cipher A, Market Cipher B, and maybe the other Market Cipher that we have here, the DBSI. The SR is good too, support and resistance 1, but we'll definitely be getting A and B out, just how I use them and how I look for confluence. So we can see here, Engine has skyrocketed. It is in a range, and right now it has pretty much come back to where it was at, you know, all the way back in November to June of 2022, right? So it's healthy. It's come back, right? It's obviously a lot of coins look similar. They have like this neckline that we can see right here of the FTX scandal and the dump, right? I think the FTX scandal actually is after this. So this would be the FTX scandal. We had the big, huge Terra Luna collapse and all that. So we could see this natural this natural pattern that plays out in a lot of these coins. Okay, I'll stop drawing there. Sorry about that. Don't be rude, friends. Don't be rude. We know that this is played out in many. This can be the Wu-Tang Clan. The Wu-Tang Clan don't give a damn signal pattern that plays out, but it looks very similar where it is worked its way back up into the previous range and it's continuing to work sideways and kind of waiting on other coins in order to have a pump show like the rest. So I'd be patient on that. What is your analysis of XCAD, brother? XCAD. You guys are sending me. What is the ticker symbol for XCAD? XCAD. Just pop it in the chat and I'll look at it. No problem. So I will look at XCAD when I know how to type it into the chat. But let's go back to Ethereum, Bitcoin's ugly sister. And you can see here, Ethereum's kind of doing one of these. And is it printing a bearish divergence? Well, no full signals yet, but we can see that momentum is coming out of the charts, and it could possibly doing one of these over the long-term time frames, which can be very bearish for Ethereum. We've had the dip down, and then we've consolidated up. This is kind of a big key level that has been holding us down, just like Bitcoin. You can see we have the box here drawn out. We can see that we have failed to get above it. We can also see multiple touches from the year before, right? So this is kind of the make it or break it point, just like where Bitcoin is at right now, right? We can see that this is holding us down, right? We had this little teaser wick here, but remember Ethereum, this is when Ethereum displaced Bitcoin and went on its own tear, right? And it was rocketing, right? Where Bitcoin kind of stayed more true, but now they've kind of aligned back up to where they're being held down. XCAD is the sticker. Sticker is XCAD. It's only on TradingView. Ah, okay. So XCAD USDT. We're going to it. Let's take a look at XCAD. Okay, XCAD. Wow. Clearly defined downtrend on XCAD. You can see that this is holding true. So that's kind of my first look when I look at it. Now you can see that we've had a range and then a dump, and a range and then a dump, and now we're ranging again. Can it change and break out of this beautiful downwards range, right? So that's a larger perspective. When we go into the nitty gritty 4 hour and we pop this up, we can see that, wow, we're getting quite a lot of movement here on the XCAD. Now, if we pull the volume range all the way across here, we can see that we're at the point of control, working our way down to the bottom of this level. So obviously, my first level I would mark out is here, right down at these previous lows. We have 2 touches here. We also can pull a fib, I'd say from down here all the way to the top. And we can see that we are being held up by a golden pocket. If we want to shrink this back a little bit, I would look for the 786 for confluence. That price target would definitely be matched up with these ones as well. Maybe a tiny bit higher, because you can see that you're making higher highs here. So if you're looking for a long, I'd be looking somewhere along this trend line here, right? Somewhere around this golden pocket. So it could be coming up to an area of where you're looking for a long, right? You can see that we've gone higher high, and maybe we bounce here and then you get a little bit of a shot up. But right now you're working your way down to the value area low, but you do have volume underneath you to hold you up. So I'd be patient on this coin. I'd also use good risk management, but it's looking like it's created higher highs and it's looking to work its way up. So anywhere around here, I'd be looking for a long, but look for it to break this trend line. that's when a big signal for me. If it flips this trend line, and I'd be watching it closely if you're looking to trade it on that trend line, right? You can see that was the shorter term time frame, but if it does get above this, it can definitely break out, right? It can definitely break out. This trend line would need to be set much cleaner. I've obviously done this really fast, but look for it to continue sideways and either react and get dumped by this trend line or react and get pumped by the trend line. I'd be looking for it to respect that trend line overall. So dump, sideways. If it's going to continue, it's going to dump and go sideways again, right? And obviously it's going to keep tapping this trend line. So quickly, back to the Bitcoin price, because that's what we're all interested in, right? We love the boomer coin on this channel. I trade the boomer coin. We're all about the boomer coin because we're boomers. No, I'm not a boomer, but always I trade Bitcoin because of how well it respects TA most of the time, right? Most of the time. So right now, the volume has clearly come out of the charts, right? It's clearly come out. We've had this huge spike, this attempt, right? I missed this trade because I was sleeping. It was 3 a.m. in the morning when this happened. Shout out to living in Australia and missing trades. And then it dumped on us. And guess what? That was 5 a.m. And shout out to having a day off and not waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning. So I missed this trade. But look at us go sideways, right? Look at us go sideways. Now, remember to expect volatility coming this week, right? It's coming this week. Now let's take a look at the S&P and what we are expecting with the S&P 500. The mini futures will be more alive coming shortly, but we can see that I've drawn out this trend line, this neckline, and this has really been holding us down, right? So when we zoom out on the S&P on the 18-hour, we can see that there's obviously this trend line. I show this trend line almost every stream, and we've pumped up, and we're looking for it to curl and move up. But we have this new kind of support and resistance that we're playing with here, and I believe if we stay below this level of support and resistance, that we're going to be bearish, right? So yes, we can come up and bounce, but to me, because there's multiple touches along this support line and resistance line, and we're now currently just below it, we're going to have to see how the S&P 500 reacts to this level, right? Will it make a gap? Will it make a gap and then come down this way? That would be very bearish, right? For Bitcoin. So right now, I'm keeping my eye on the S&P, and I think it will have a good dictation of which way the Bitcoin price will be going as well. Now, whenever I look at the S&P, I always look at the dollar, the Dixie, and we can see that we have multiple trend lines here. But right now, the Dixie is pushing to, it's pushed up, bounced, it's pushed up, and now it's looking to get into this area, this zone, right? This 104 to 105 zone, which is very bearish for the markets overall. Very bearish. So if it continues to hold this key level here, then that is bearish in my mind. Because when the dollar pumps, Bitcoin dumps, right? So it trades the opposite, but we got to be very cautious and watch the Dixie and see if it does flip this to support and create a new kind of level in here. Because right now, you know, we came up, we created this box, and now we've come up, and now we're creating a new one, right? From level to level, we love to trade level to level at this channel, so we got to be very cautious with that. Let's go over to our friend Matic. We had been given this in the Discord, where price would go, what we think is going to happen. So let's see how it worked out. We can always back test and see what the setup was. And look at that. Look at that. Wow. We had given this setup early on. It came exactly, bounced down, bounced perfectly up Twice it hit, and guess what? It's dumped, right? So this was given. This was my big term if Bitcoin pumped, and this was my short term if Bitcoin kind of stayed flat. And guess what? It stayed flat. We had been given this. This was given in Frankie Candle's Discord and in ours, and it was quite a nice setup. If you had taken this, you're in some profits. Matic is doing all right, but this would have been a nice 5% trade where Thesis likes to have a beautiful percentage. He likes the big moves, so we gave him the big moves. If you've seen this in the Discord, you would have been able to take this trade. And of course, it happened at 2 a.m. when I was sleeping, so I was not able to take it. But that's okay, because I hope a lot of other people took this trade as well, right? So always giving some TA, always giving some ideas and thoughts in the Discord. So don't forget to join us there. I appreciate every single one of you for being part of this community. And remember to smash the like button. Trying to grow. Works both ways. We get some crazy pumps when everyone else is sweeping too. Yeah. Australian time zones. Pretty wild. It's pretty wild. Sol has been coming off an inverse head and shoulders. Last I looked, I think. Buddy, Bitcoin makes 15% moves in a couple hours with 500 billion market cap. This is the truth. This is the truth, right? If you catch those moves on Bitcoin, wow, they're pretty nice. They're pretty nice. They're utterly fantastic, as we like to say here. So we're in this range with Matic. It has come above. If we zoom out, we need to look for trades, but obviously we've pumped like crazy. So we're going to wait to see what it does here. This is a new range. Maybe it comes back and it tests the lows. But remember, weekend volume right now, so we're not sure. Maybe it stays kind of stagnant in the middle here, creates a new kind of volume area, and we can trade that to the upside and to the downside. But right now, it looks like Matic is cooling off, which is good. But we want to be patient here. Look how thick the money flow is, right? Right now, Matic is just pumping hard, right? But we are creating new market sentiment, which is we're making lower lows, right? We've made a lower low here. So look for it to continue downwards and cool off. That would be my idea. You can see that money flow is coming out, and we're getting a red dot on the higher term time frames. So Matic looks to be cooling off. If we're looking for an entry on Matic, go down to our 12-minute, which we love on this channel. 12-minute, 24-minute, I don't know, seems to work magic for us. So I'd be pulling a swing high to the swing low here for a retracement. And obviously we have come up. We've bounced off the VWAP perfectly and the golden pocket. So look for this to work its way down and possibly much further, right? So we missed the initial move with Matic, but we can always, always, always find something more to give us confluence throughout, right? Oopsie. I thought I pulled that. Yeah, so look for it to make its way to the point of control here and possibly dump, right? So anywhere here, 786 could be a possible trade setup. I'll look into that more in depth later on. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Armani Webb, Nomad Dad, Thesis, Top 10, Ace, Darren Does Things, Thesis again, Felix. All you guys, thank you so much for supporting this channel. I'm going to take a quick look at Sol. Sol has been coming off an inverse head and shoulders last I looked, I think. So let's look at Sol quickly. And wow, Sol is, you're saying inverse head and shoulders. I can see it. Can you guys see it? Here it is. You got your beautiful inverse head and shoulders. Knees and toes. Knees and toes. Do. Knees and toes. Look at that. If you're into pattern trading, that is a pattern to be traded. And you can see that it's moved us up. It's come to a key level of support that I've had marked out for quite some time because I haven't traded Sol in quite a while. But yes, it's come up It's been rejected, but it's made a higher high than over here. So let's be cautious with Sol. Obviously, Sol got beaten up because of the FTX scandal. So we have a high up here. We can see that we've come up. We have a new range clearly defined throughout right here. We have come to the value area high. So looking for a short on Sol would be ideal for pulling the swing to the swing. We can see it. We've also bounced off the 786. multiple confluences here for Sol that a short looks like probably a good idea. So look for Sol, look for a short. Volume is still high, so be patient and look for quite another. Love your color stream. Can you share the setting for trading view? Absolutely. Orange and purple. Mrs. Otter's favorite color is purple. Mine is orange. Pardon me. Color scheme. Maybe you could take a look at this. I don't know how, if it gives you it doesn't give you the color code. But you can add it to however you want. Maybe you can mimic it somewhat, but there you go. Pause the video if you need to. Absolutely. Space Invader, Kaiser Ijas, welcome. Good evening, Space Invader. It is nice and early here. It is 9:50 in the a.m. on Monday in Australia, and we're going to go to the beach today, having a beach day with the Otter family, Mama Otter, Mrs. Otter, and Alex Otter. Got it, Alex. Thanks, mate. Anytime, brother. Anytime. Anything for the gang. Anything for you guys. So, yeah, Sol's looking like a juicy short right now. Be careful out there. Make sure to use good risk management, preservation of capital. That's what we're all talking about here, is that no matter what, we got to defend our capital with all we have in order to remain trading so that we can continue trading for the long term, because the key, in my opinion, when trading, I didn't even turn on my light. In my opinion, when trading, is to make sure that we preserve capital and to have a long-term outlook on this so that over time we can grow our accounts and secure the bag, right? You have to change that beautiful long-term perspective into a longer-term perspective in order to make a nice profit here, because we can't just be looking for a quick buck. I know it's nice to make those giant gains off of one or two trades. We got to invest now because it's the bear market, but we also have to be patient with our trading, preserve the capital in order to use it to make more capital, right? So this is the overlook of Sol. Obviously, we had this giant aggressive down move, dump, pump, and we are failing to get up into this range here. Keeps knocking on the door, very similar to what Ethereum and Bitcoin are in, except that Sol had a very aggressive dump because of the FTX scandal. So now it's building a range kind of in here, you can see, and it will continue to trade in here unless we get a big move, I think, on Bitcoin or Ethereum. If we get that pump through 25.2K, then I think Sol will follow, and then it'll work its way back into this range. Until then, look for it to knock on the door here and get rejected over and over again. Makes sense? Makes sense to me. So going back to the Bitcoin, one last look, one last trade setup. Obviously, I will be in the Discord, so be sure to add these levels to your charts that we're looking for Bitcoin to either retrace to or pump right through, right? And have them marked out. Be ready to trade them. Remember that money flow is still in the green on the longer term time frames. We have not seen the volume that this week will bring. It's a 4-day week, so it's going to be volatile. The price is going to move a lot more than normal because it's compacted into 4 rather than 5 days. So we need to be prepared for that. We have been rejected for a second time up at the 25.2K area. Right now, it's working its way down. It's been heavily rejected, but volume has come out of the charts. So what does that mean to me? That right now, look for some very, very boring sideways action, but be prepared with your levels. Don't just jump into a trade for the sake of things. Remember to use your levels, be patient, wait for price to come to the levels, and look for a long or a short, but practice good risk management. I will be looking for a long position from down here around 24,200, and then obviously back at the top of this range. We can pull. If we want to get into a trade now and we're looking to trade, well, what are we going to do? We're going to pull the volume profile across this range. Where does it start? I'd say it starts somewhere around here. So let's pull from here to here. So we got some volume profiles. We can see that it ends here. It's value area highs here. We can pull some fibs from up top to the swing low. And we can see that up here would be another area that I'd be looking for it to retrace up to and possibly short, right? So we can add this in the shorter term time frames. We can also see that it's getting rejected off of this value area high. So maybe we draw a horizontal here. We make it red if we're trading. So we know that this is the point of control. So price will naturally work its way back to the point of control and down to the value area low and the value area high. So we have confluence here at 24.8. We have our red line here, and we also have our swing lows, right? We have our swing lows of this range. We zoom out, we get a better look at this, and we can see that where price has come to right now, we've had exhaustion wicks from before, right? And from before. So I would look for it. If it does come further down, it would come down into this range. My sentiment will change when? Like we talked about at the beginning of the stream. When will my sentiment change? Well, that's when we manage, if we ever do, to come below this level down here, which is around 21,350, right? Because that would mean a change of market structure. If we come lower than this area right here, we'll make this red, then my sentiment changes, right? Because then we've put in a lower low and we can see downward action, right? But for right now, where we're at right now is very much a range, very low volume after that attempt at 25K. Volume has cooled off, and you can see we're getting a blood diamond here. So maybe we retest the lows here. We curl over and we look to fire along from here, or we can possibly look for a short here. But let's be patient out there. Let's practice good risk management. Thank you so much, everybody. Space Invader, Kaiser Jazz, Armani Webb, Thesis, Nomad, Top 10, Ace, all you guys. Much love to every single one of you. God bless. Mrs. Otter just got in the house from yoga. How's it going? Look at those pink leggings. That's for real. Hope you're all doing well. I'm going to get out of here. Much love to every single one of you. We'll see you in the next one. I'll be back tomorrow. Peace out. Much love. Mrs. Otter, are we going to go practice yoga together? Okay.